Now, our university has demonstrated its commitment to veterans by the establishment of the Military Health Institute in 2014. Our mission is to better the lives of our active duty veterans and their families through our research, our education, and clinical care, and we're doing that every day here at this university. Our faculty has shown their dedication to this community through their research in PTSD. I see Colonel retired Stacey Young McCoggan, Dr. Young McCoggan leading that effort with Dr. Peterson. In trauma research that we're doing, our TBI research that we're doing, our caregiver research, our pain management research, all these areas have incredible impact for our military and our veterans, and we're honored to do that. It's now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker today, and that's Dr. Sestero. Ramon, if you could come up. As you can see, Dr. Sestero is still a Navy reservist. He's one of our trauma surgeons in the Department of Surgery and doing outstanding work there, and to include research as well. But Dr. Sestero served multiple times in Afghanistan and Iraq. And many of you remember the Battle of Fallujah. Dr. Sestero was there in a forward surgical team saving the lives of our Marines. He was deployed for 7 months over there, came back for 2 weeks. They needed him forward. He raised his hand and went back for another 7 months. He's one of our nation's heroes. I'm honored to introduce him today. Ramon?
Good morning. I'm United States Navy Commander Ramon Cestero, and I spent 10 years active duty as a military trauma surgeon prior to joining UT Health San Antonio. I am now a full-time UT faculty and a Navy reservist, but during my years on active duty, I deployed a total of 7 times, including 3 combat deployments assigned to military field hospitals. Serving in the military and taking care of our nation's heroes has been one of the greatest honors of my life. So it is a true privilege to be here honoring our service members on Veterans Day, and I thank General Hepburn and the Military Health Institute for inviting me to speak. In 1918, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the guns fell silent along the Western Front, and the end of World War I was declared. Otherwise known as the War to End All Wars, this global conflict led to the deaths of over 10 million military personnel, and its conclusion was expected to bring an end to all future wars. Initially called Armistice Day, President Woodrow Wilson declared November 11th a national holiday intended to honor all of the heroes who died during the war. Over time, the name was changed to Veterans Day, and the purpose of this holiday was changed to recognize all of those who have served and are currently serving in the United States Armed Forces. So today, on Veterans Day, we honor those who honor our country with its highest form of service, those who have worn the uniform of our Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. Today is the day we say thank you to all of our nation's military who have sacrificed their own personal freedoms in order to preserve and defend ours. So what does it mean to serve our country and be considered a veteran? For those who are not personally familiar with military service, it's a privilege which is difficult to describe, but I wanted to share some of my own experiences in an attempt to explain its meaning. To me, being a veteran means joining the Navy after surgical residency training, taking my board's examinations, and immediately the next morning saying goodbye to my wife as I left for a 9-month deployment to the Persian Gulf. It means spending long months deployed at sea, missing multiple holidays and family events, and eventually heading home, only to be turned around and returned to the Gulf because a replacement aircraft carrier was needed elsewhere. It means deploying to post-disaster zones like Indonesia and Haiti as part of our humanitarian assistance efforts, providing critical aid to those in need and appreciating what abject poverty really looks like. It means eventually deploying to Iraq with the Marine Corps, spending 7 months in a tent, trying to avoid incoming mortars, operating on some of the most devastating injuries I had ever seen, and in taking care of our injured heroes, truly understanding the definition of the word sacrifice. It means later being stationed in Afghanistan, where as I was running for cover during one of our weekly rocket attacks, I had the unique experience of seeing an incoming mortar directly overhead, which exploded behind the building I was running to. It means spending countless months overseas without our immediate families, away from friends and loved ones, but comforted by the fellowship and camaraderie forged by shared experiences with our military brethren. And most importantly for me, it means being part of a proud Navy family and having the privilege to stand in as a senior officer for my brother-in-law's promotion ceremony, as he was promoted from a Navy enlisted sailor to a junior officer, since my father-in-law, Navy Warrant Officer Rick Soper, unfortunately passed away several months prior and was unable to do so. Throughout my various military experiences, whether I was deployed with sailors on an aircraft carrier in the Gulf, stationed with Marines in a tent in Iraq, or working with the Army in a combat hospital in Afghanistan, one aspect was always constant. There was always a deep sense of camaraderie and teamwork in the armed forces, which is difficult to describe. There is a strong bond developed by those who serve, which ties all services together. And despite the constancy of change present in military life, where individuals are frequently thrown together from uncommon backgrounds, uncommon beliefs, and uncommon situations, military service members always develop a common mission, a common goal, a common purpose, to take care of the man or woman standing next to you, to always have each other's backs. And this cannot be done without having a strong support structure. The military families who may not wear the uniform, but perform just as important a role as those who serve. They too deserve recognition on this day. And we cannot forget the fallen, the missing, and those who are currently in harm's way, as they deserve honor on this day as well. So today, on Veterans Day, we salute the service of all veterans, and we are fortunate here at UT Health San Antonio to have such a rich and diverse veteran population. So please say thank you to someone you know who has served. Ask them about their experiences. Ask them why they served. Ask them why they sacrificed. Today is a day we recognize the men and women who step forward to serve our country and a cause greater than themselves. May God bless our veterans, and may God bless the United States of America.